Aanchal. Welcome to Entrepreneur Talks podcast run by Women Flakes.
Hi, Yola. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I'm so excited to have you here with me as well and hear about your journey and story. Thank you so much for being here today with me. And and be and I'm sure you're gonna inspire a lot of people. My listeners will love your journey. Tell me, Aanchal, where are you talking from?
So right now I'm in Hong Kong, very far away from you. It's 9 p.m. over here. But yeah, it's a fun city to be living in.
Yeah, Hong Kong. Oh, wow.
Yes,
So do you speak Chinese then?
I speak Cantonese, yeah.
Okay.
I don't understand Mandarin. So, I mean, generally when people say Chinese, they're referring to Mandarin. I have no clue what people are talking about in Mandarin.
So we still
It's very different.
dialect, so like,
Yeah.
okay. Oh wow. I just imagine if you can speak, you can write as well, right?
No, I can't. I can't.
It's so strange, so complicated. There we go. When we don't know, we think it's complicated, but when
It is very complicated. It's one of the hardest languages in the world. So I think if I'm not mistaken, there are like 9 different tones in Cantonese. So the same word, but in 9 different tones can mean like complete different things. So even the writing, like one little stroke is like something else. So yeah, I haven't learned to write Cantonese. It's more like, cause I was born and raised here. So speaking Cantonese is something we do, like we just pick it up by listening and, living daily life sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So that's why you can feel yourself at home in some way, like with the language. Comfortable. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So I'm in London, so there we go. Like you said, it's a long way and a big difference sometimes. But
Yeah.
let's start your podcast with me. So tell me, who is Aanchal? What you've been doing? Describe yourself. I think it's a very hard sometimes question, right? But you will.
It is. It's like the hardest question when I get asked this question, but it's important. So I will. It's very long. I'm going to warn you up front. Um, so I mean, the short version is that I would say I'm a creative, just because everything I do is related to the creative industry. So first off, I would introduce myself as a photographer because that's what I do full time, and an art director because that ties into photography. Um,
And then,
I run businesses related to photography. One is animation, illustration, websites, anything visual content production. That's what we do as a team. So that's related to photography. And then aside from that, I also have a career on screen as much as I have off screen. So I'm also an actress, but with acting here comes modeling as well. So I do both of that. And my on-screen it's very long. My on-screen career has sort of developed into running my own talent management. So I have a business partner for that as well, and she is a veteran model here in Hong Kong. She's actually half British and half Chinese. So yeah, we started this talent management here because in Hong Kong we actually lack diversity, and so in terms of like ethnically or like culturally, as much as visually as well, I would say, because everyone seems to have one sort of a look, and we sort of found that lack here, and we decided to represent different faces ourselves. So yeah, now I have a talent management. Aside from that, last thing is I also run an academy. It's called Academy of Design, where we actually teach in English or Cantonese short courses or workshops related to design, because my major was actually in fashion design. And the problem here is a lot of schools, they would say that the courses are in English, but they're never in English. And so when you actually join, the notes are in English, but you don't know what the teacher is saying unless you speak Cantonese. So growing up and living here and studying in so many different schools, and I have a business partner for the academy as well, a different business partner. And yeah, we both experienced many different schools. We decided that we wanted to create affordable English language or Cantonese language separately programs for people to take. So yeah, that's what we do. This is
Wow.
what I do.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a powerful woman. Wow, I'm so impressed. Well done. Wow. How can you manage? So,
Don't even ask me that question. I don't. I can't look at my eyebags. I can't. Some
no,
days I'm just like, what am I doing?
listen, Anchal, you can manage because otherwise you wouldn't have all these companies and you managing, no matter if it's like every day you probably manage not everything, but you manage surely, but I like we say here, small but surely, or shortly and surely, because this is amazing. This just make me think like, yes, Yola, continue doing what you're doing, because when sometimes we look to your, like I'm looking to yourself and I'm seeing, am I right? Am I capable to do this kind of thing, like running so many things at the same time? But I am, because you just the example. You just go made me more feel more inspired to carry on, and that's honorable. Wow, well done. So so I see that you got plenty of um, creativity in your life.
Yeah,
And
I like doing different things every day. So
yeah,
doing that.
amazing. So tell me, what or which company would you like to bring today to the podcast? Or how many companies would you like to talk about it? Because it is a couple of them, six, I think. You sound like, yeah.
I've lost count myself. I guess we could talk about stage creatives because stage creatives has stage management under it, and I think there's quite a lot for us to share in that retrospect. So, yeah, we can talk about stage
Tell me more about stage creativity or
creatives.
creative. Okay. When did you start that stage creative business?
Okay, so we started Stage Creatives a year ago. So basically, I've been doing photography and art direction for 10 years. I started very young, but like commercially and stuff. But I had a lot of clients come up to me asking me for things that I don't handle, like videography is something that I could never latch onto, and it's very hard for me because it's different shooting stills and like motion. Um, so I had like a team that also does video that I work with. So I had met people in the industry over the years, and then I also had a team that does animation and illustration because that sort of is sometimes related to photography when we join together. Like we work with other marketing companies and we meet other people. And then we also had a graphic designer, so they die hand in hand with photography sometimes. Website was something that we sort of came across with, like we just met and I knew people who were capable of doing, and then I get to work with other web designers because when they design the website, they need us to create certain like banners and stuff so everything is sort of tied together. And over the 10 years, I've met so many different types of people. And then it just made sense for me to just create one space where a client could come to us and, they don't have to go to 10 different companies to get one project done. So if they're a new brand or a new company and they need to create all this content, we're like the one-stop shop where you can get everything done. So that's the story of Stage Creatives. I started that a year ago, not knowing the pandemic was going to hit. And so the second that happened, it was very difficult, especially because Hong Kong is very close, like we're neighbors with China. So we were the first to get hit.
Yeah.
And then it sort of spread around the world. And a lot of my clients are from other countries as well. So, once it hit globally, it was like a problem for everybody everywhere. But during the pandemic, because I also do modeling, and so my partner, Nicola, who's my partner for the management sector, we were talking to each other, and we've known each other for I don't know how many years now. And so we started talking, and we were like, you know what, we don't have much to do right now because our work is sort of slowed down, and we have this time on our hands. Instead of sitting on it, why don't we like actually build up this idea that we've been talking so much about? So 6 months ago, I think it's 6 months now, we've started Stage Management, which is under Stage Creatives. And that is what I said earlier was the main point of that entire business is to promote diversity and inclusivity. And we don't only just have models from different ethnic backgrounds. We also have like talents like singers, dancers, athletes, voiceover artists. We want to represent like different type of talent that could be used in a production. Um, and aside from that, we also represent people with like shorter heights, different hair textures, tattoos, and I think that's a stigma here, that a lot of models can't have tattoos. It's something they don't really like. But we want to promote that idea that different body types and body art is beautiful, and it's somebody's personality. And my partner, she's a full-time model, and so a lot of things she's experienced that she was bringing to the table is that a lot of models are just seen as pretty faces, and they're not capable of anything. So they're like dumb, pretty faces, for lack of better words. So she wants to change that idea. And so what we're trying to do with the agency as well is that we promote like these little fashion films or short videos or interviews with our talent to show like, oh, what do they study and like what their background is. And they're actually like educated individuals with their own opinions and personalities and characters that we want to showcase to like the world. And I think that's something new here. In London, there's a lot of that happening, but here it just doesn't exist. And so we want to change that, and that's one of the things we're trying to do. Yeah.
Wow. Where do you get your clients, let's say, for the what's the name, for the management?
Stage management.
Yes, stage management. It's from your modeling years, from your photography, and from your colleague as well. You're part of your team. She's a model full time, so she can bring. And is women or is mixed clients?
So we have, you mean the talents? They're male and female, but we also are starting to include kids. Client-wise, client-wise, we basically could, you're right, because we are in the industry ourselves, and we've already met a lot of casting directors and with being talents ourselves. And also because I'm a photographer, and my partner is actually getting into photography, so she has her own set of clients that come through word of mouth and stuff. So because of that, we do have projects for our talents. But aside from that, we actually reached out to brands that we don't even work with. Like in the 6 months, I'm really proud of it. This is one of my proudest achievements. That our models have worked with companies like Nike, like they've worked with Fila. There's a really big hotel chain in Hong Kong that they get to work with. We've got clients like McDonald's who've worked with our talents, and I haven't shot with McDonald's, but they've reached out to us with these projects that they want to include new faces and different people, aside from like the regular type of models, which we're really proud of because we've only been around for 6 months. So that's saying something, and I think we're on the right track and we're doing something right. That's why these kind of clients are coming towards us.
You're making the difference, Aanchal. You're making the
I hope so.
Yeah. You're doing the change, being the change, and that's super powerful. And don't give up. Don't give up. Carry on. I love to hear stories like this. It's amazing. It is amazing. And what is your next step? What is your next company you build? You think?
I haven't thought about it. Honestly, I don't like plan it out, and I don't really like think can I handle this or I can't handle it. Like it's usually born out of a change that I see that I want to make within the industry that I work with. So like, for example, with stage creatives, like I was doing photography on my own for 10 years. I still am, but like during that time, I noticed that there's no one place, or like the clients would tell me, that we don't know which other companies to reach. Do you know anyone? Do you know anyone? Like it's always, there's like a lack of just getting things done fast, easy, and it's reachable for clients. And so that's one of the reasons why we're like, okay, we'll start that. And then with the management, there's lack of diversity. And so we were like, okay, let's fix that. And so everything that I think, like with the academy as well, me and my other business partner who we started the academy with, it's because we studied so much within Hong Kong, and we realized that there's such a lack of like just speaking English in the design industry that we were like, let's fix that, So every step of the way with what we do is what I do is literally just fixing things that I see
behind that is so powerful and needed that you're just creating. I love it. I love it.
I don't really plan out like, oh, this makes money, let's do that. Like, I don't really think that way. I think it's more like something I feel like I can contribute to, and then I feel happy doing it every day. And for me, it's the most important thing is doing something I love or I'm passionate about, and then yeah.
That's really, yeah, that's so true. That's why we are here today as well, because I love to do this. I love to hear and share your journey, your story with others, and that makes impact. We don't know who is going to impact, but it's going to impact someone. Even if it's one person, it's worth it. And so, and thank you again. I'm so like, what is? I'm so excited for you. And you are on your 20s, right?
I'm 28. Yeah.
And you are young and free, and you are so busy. Wow. It's one of the things, like when you mentioned about the COVID, I totally understood, like, because between this, we're still on COVID, right?
Yeah.
When it happened, we had the opportunity to either to be lazy or creative. And I love that because a lot of my guests, they come up with the same strategy. I call strategy because if you don't think about something, the time is gonna pass, and you're not gonna, or either apply some knowledge and make things better for your business that is already there, or create something else, and that's powerful.
That's good.
Yeah, and tell me what exactly, how this management, I'm coming back to so many business, which I love, but the stage management, right, is the name.
Yeah.
How people apply to your business. So basically they get how I say this. Do you run a school, like a registration? People pays for it. They are only in Hong Kong, or they are around the globe?
Okay, so only in Hong Kong based at the moment. We don't provide like visas or anything at the moment because we're new. But we actually cast the talent, like we scout them. So we either it's word of mouth, like to start with, we found talents that we already knew because we know their quality. One of the things that make us different is our talents. Like it is a very big problem within our industry where a lot of talents they have an air to themselves, and so they think that they can show up late, they can do whatever they want, they can misbehave on set, and we don't like that. We don't want to represent that type of model. Or talent. So we are very particular with the kind of people we cast for our agency because they represent us as well. They reflect us in a very big way. When they go to a job, they're not going to be babysat the whole time by one of our team, So it's very important to us for them to represent our company properly. So we have a selection of models that we had on hand that we already knew that were capable of representing us to begin with because we're already from this industry, so we knew them.
Yeah.
Then it became word of mouth where we would have open castings where a lot of our initial talents recommended their friends who they thought was suitable for us, or people just come across our agency and they follow us on it, me and my partner on Instagram, and they liked it, they wanted to join, and we're open to new faces. So one of the things we do differently as well is we train the models. We don't just pick people who are already experienced and okay, come on, just get to work. We don't do that. We actually handpick them. If we really look at them and we think you guys have potential to do something different, and like you have a look that's really interesting and we see a market for you, we train you within that market. We create a branding for that talent, which I think we are very different in that sense as an agency as well. We do care a lot about our talent. We want to make sure that, for example, there's a big thing in Hong Kong. I don't know if it's the same elsewhere, but in Hong Kong, it's a big thing about models getting played. Like if they're freelance, they actually they don't get paid money after they do a job. Some of the casting directors run away with the money, so they don't know how to deal with business, and so they sort of just let it go when they lose their income. Whereas with us, because we're an agency, we make sure that they get paid. And another thing that we do is we make sure they're safe, because there are a lot of creeps. This industry is full of creeps, so we want to make sure that they're not just like going to a photo shoot where they're promised there's going to be a team and they show up and there's only one person. And it's happened to my partner before. It's happened to many other talents that we've spoken to before. So we want to make sure that it's our responsibility the talent is safe. And so a lot of models actually prefer to go through us rather than go freelance, just because they know that we're going to take care of them, and whatever they end up going to is going to be quality, not just some random thing that
That's
we
rubbish. Yeah. Oh,
yeah. So yeah, we're very particular. We don't charge money to. Another thing we do differently is we don't actually charge our talent. A lot of agencies would add commission for like finding a talent job. We don't do that. So what we do is purely like we because we are talents ourselves. I think it's very different. So we know what it's like to be represented by other agencies as well, and we want to make the environment very comfortable for the talents who are going and putting a lot of effort to do the job right. So yeah.
wow. You are very kind. I've been, no, I'm serious because this is really beautiful what you're doing because you got the experience and you know exactly how people feel. And so you're changing the perspective of the being a model and going to some kind of weird, like you never know what kind of work you're going to expect. But with you,
Yeah.
you will know exactly because you are on their back. You're supporting 100%. And that's
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame that I'm not in Hong Kong. Otherwise, I would want to apply for this agency. I would
When you
love.
come here, when you come visit, let me know.
I will call you and Charles. I will say, "Hey, I'm here." Oh, that's amazing. That's really good. And I'm sure the listeners are just thinking, "Oh, Shay, sugar, I'm not in Hong Kong right now." But they still can get in touch. They say they still can follow you. They still can see your success going from here to there, upwards. And I'm sure it's gonna rock. You're gonna rock. And tell me, either like that, we are away, but how can people connect with you and find more about your work?
So I'm very active on Instagram. I'm saying very active. I'm not that active. It's just that I'm more regularly on Instagram. Just because I feel like Instagram is more of a platform that can showcase portfolio nicely with pictures. It's more visual, and that's what attracts me to it. I'm also on Facebook, and I do have a LinkedIn, but I don't really use it that often. But I'll share all of those links with you.
Fantastic. I will make sure all the links, everything about Anchal and her company will be on the description of the podcast. And anyone can join her, follow her, check her website because I'm sure they're gonna feel amazed. I'm just like, whoa, I'm speechless because I can't believe it. It's so beautiful, beautiful to
Thank you.
be able
It means
to
so much to me.
just do this podcast with you and listen how powerful you are and your team because it's not I'm not just trying to make you like a woo you're not doing it alone but just the fact that you just started and you don't feel afraid and that's really powerful because it's the way I feel all the time because I love what I do and it's a passion behind the door behind the scenes and when it's passion we don't think about money
Exactly.
we do it because we know we are making a difference somehow somewhere and
Yeah.
on someone's life and that's beautiful. Thank you so much, Anchal.
Thank you.
I
It's so nice talking to you.
Fantastic. I hope you carry on creating or building up and changing lives all the way. You are young and free, so you have the potential to grow and be successful more and more and more. God bless. You're welcome. You take care, and I'm sure
Yes.
we're going to keep in touch because
Yes.